Hello, and welcome to the Croc block. I'm Paulmall. I'll be running Croc 2, any percent. I guess we'll get into it. Make the file name ASM. And we're going to pick the first save slot. That'll be important for later. So I guess I'll count down if we're all ready to go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh. Good luck on the run.
Thank you. So the first thing we're going to do is get these binoculars here. They are important. They're a pretty useless item in general, but we can use them to save about 50 seconds over the entire run by using them to break out of cutscenes. So the first skip we have here is we can... Oh, if I can get it. We can get ourselves stuck in here. Nope. This should be good. Nice. And this basically skips this entire level. You're meant to do this massive loop around to get this key. But we can just jump up there. And we're going to unlock this. And we just then use the binoculars right there to break out of that cutscene. Croc was meant to like stand there for about 5 seconds while the gobbo slowly got into his backpack, but we just jumped right out. And now we're on to the second level. In this level, there's a bunch of minecarts. There's 5 treasure chests hidden around that we have to get. What you just saw then was a hazard jump, where if you frame perfectly jump on a hazard, like lava or spikes, you can jump without getting hurt. We can use that to cross some pretty big gaps. You won't see all that much of it in this run though. Basically with hazards, you can get hit twice, and then the third time you get hit, you'll die and respawn. So with a gap like that, you only need to get 1 out of 3 hazard jumps to make it across.
Now, when I hear the words frame perfect trick as a speedrunner, that kind of scares me a little bit. How tight of a frame perfect trick are we talking? Because not all frame perfect tricks are created.
Yeah, so it's a this game runs at 30 frames a second on PC.
Right.
Intentionally died there to warp us back to the start instead of taking another minecart back. Yeah, so because it's frame perfect at 30 FPS, but all of the gaps that we need to cross in this run, you only need to get 1 out of 3 of them. So they're pretty easy.
Generous.
Yeah, they're quite generous. There are some more IL only strats where you do like 8 in a row to get across. I won't be doing any of those.
Fair enough. Got to be marathon safe after all.
Yep. So another death warp there to bring me back to here. Regarding movement in this game, you'll notice I'm running like diagonal everywhere. That's faster than running forwards. Oh wow, okay. That was a mistake. So I got caught on the edge of the box there, which made me have to do a second one, and I almost died. But I clutched it, it's okay. So yeah, most of the game I'm gonna be holding forwards, or like on the analog stick I'm gonna be holding like 30 degrees forwards, or 30 degrees off of forwards, and then holding right side step at the same time. So you pretty much hold right step almost the entire game. Yeah, now that level's done, once I hit the final chest, I ran out of lives, which caused a game over, which once you've completed the objective for a level, you can game over, and it'll still count. So there are many levels where the fastest way to get out of them is to just game over. So I was intentionally losing lives throughout that level, to line up myself with 0 lives at the end. Now we're in a boat. There's a bunch of vehicle levels in this game. They're pretty boring. They're pretty easy, but yeah, we can go through this waterfall here, which is an intended shortcut. All these enemies, the other opponents, they're all on a set path. They do the exact same thing every time, which is how they all just get ahead of you at the start. So yeah, in 100%, where you take a slightly different route in this, you can kind of use them to boost you, because if you can get just ahead of them, they can like push you, because they're like the train in GTA 5. They're like immovable. You can't stop them, so they'll just push you. So yeah, just 3 laps of this. And then when we finish this level, it'll give us 100 crystals, because there are, other than these colored crystals that we're passing, there aren't any regular crystals laying around, so it'll just give us 100, which gives us 4 lives. We already have 4 lives though, because we just game overed out of a previous level. So yeah. Have we got any donations or anything?
Oop. Right now we haven't got any donations, but I'll take the time to remind everyone who we are. We are Oz Speedruns, and we're doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. For ASM 2021, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity promoting good mental health through raising the awareness and reducing the stigma around mental health issues. If you'd like to donate, you can do so at donate.ozspeedruns.com, or click the link in chat. I have a question for you though, if you're taking time.
Yeah.
Because I've got the Croc 2 wiki open in front of me, because I'm a bit of a Croc noob myself.
Oh yeah.
And I can see that this game came out on a couple of different platforms. You're playing on PC today, because I assume it's the fastest.
Yes.
But do you have a preferred platform to play on? Like, playing a game with PC controls is different, than on the Game Boy Color.
Yes. So the PC version is like the best version of the game. The Game Boy Color version is completely different. Just quickly though, I've intentionally damaged myself on this level, so I only have 1 life right now. So in this room... Ooh, okay. Ooh. I can come up here, kill this guy, and then just die immediately. The objective of that level was to kill him, and by hazard jumping across the lava there, I was able to get ahead of him without triggering him to keep moving. And then I could just kill him early. That literally saves like a minute or 2. But yeah, so there's the PS1 version of this game. And then it released on PC a bit later with a lot of quality of life improvements. And yeah, the Game Boy Color version is completely different. It's quite a good game, but it's, yeah, very different. And I'm playing the PC version using a controller because it's faster. Like I talked earlier about that 30-degree angle on the analog stick. You can't do that with keyboard controls.
Oh yeah, I should have picked up on that. Makes sense.
I mean, you can, kind of. You just have to, like, continually spam, like rapidly tapping, like, left to try and maintain a 30-degree angle as you're running.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah.
So in this level, there are these boxes, and we have to throw 3 TNT at Savina. Oh, this is going to be tight. I stuffed it up. Oh, nope, okay. I clipped on this edge right here, so I would have died if I'd committed to that. So I have to wait an extra cycle. Yeah, you just gotta wait for these platforms. It's kind of an auto-scroller. If you play well, you can get all 3 of these cycles immediately, but yeah, I stuffed up just there. All good. The way the flow of this game works is most of these like hub worlds have 5 levels. Oops, excluding the last one. And it's basically, once you've completed 3 of the levels, you unlock a boss, which you can do at any point after you've unlocked it. And then after you've done all 5 levels plus the boss, it will warp you to the final boss of that world. And once you've beaten that final boss, you can progress to the next hub world. I did a cheeky post jump right there to skip climbing the lower part because it's faster. Hazard jumps across here instead of going around. Technically, you don't need to do all of the levels in order to go to the next world. You only need to have completed the final boss of the world. Unfortunately, we haven't figured out any way to get into any of the final bosses early. In the 3rd world, there's like a door that has like a massive invisible wall. We would be able to clip through it if they didn't add a massive invisible wall blocking you in. Which is pretty funny. About a month ago or so, there was a bunch of demo discs released by a YouTube channel, Twitch channel. I can't remember what it was called, and they had a Croc 2 demo disc that, from like a few weeks before launch, that didn't have that invisible wall. So they added that right near the end. In this level, we just had to get this sandwich, and that's it. So now the game auto-warped us to the final boss of this, of the Sailor hub world. Some of the bosses have like a short section before them, of like short regular level kind of before them, and some of them just go straight into the boss. Yeah. So for this boss, there's just gonna be, it's like Cannonboat Keith, I think he's called. Oh, didn't get it. You can sometimes get binocular skips in there. So you basically just hit these 3 cannons. He conveniently pointed a bunch of cannons at himself for you. Very kind of him. He's firing cannons as well, which, like that, which make these platforms drop out, so it's slightly harder. But yeah, it's pretty easy. So yeah, now we are going to move on to the next world, to the Cossack village. Just chat to Swap Meet Pete here. So yeah, this village has a like a winter snow theme. In this level makes a lot of sense, honestly. We've been caved in. There's like a bunch of snow blocking the exit, and there's a bunch of gobos that are all trapped in these underground sections. So we basically just have to pick up all of them, and then push this. Oh my. And you push this big ice block all the way to the end to get the bomb out of it so we can get back out. Oh. That guy that I just saved, he just started talking to me, so I try to like frame perfectly skip his dialogue. If you do get it frame perfect, you never even see his dialogue. Also, yeah, here I'm talking to them, skipping their dialogue, then using the binoculars to break out of the cutscene so I don't have to wait for them, and then death abusing. So that first gobbler that we saved, he's now holding up the bridge with that button over there. And we just gotta keep pushing this. I have 0 lives, which is not great, but it should be fine.
So you're running on some ice right now. Does that mean this game has ice physics?
Yes, it does. You do move faster on ice.
Okay.
Yeah, the fastest form of movement is, yeah, this like kind of strafe running that we usually do, but on ice. So in a level coming up, you'll see me like prioritizing running on the ice over not. running on ice, but yeah. In this particular room, there's that gobbo there. If you were to skip their cutscene and jump off and fall and die, they wouldn't count. For some reason, they get added to your inventory much later in the cutscene than normal, so you pretty much have to run back like normal. I broke out of that cutscene just then to skip this whole animation, and like I would have been stuck sitting still there all the way up until that bridge stopped moving. That's a big time save. Well, it saves like 7 or 8 seconds or something. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. He literally just like puts a stick in the bridge and it stops the bridge from spinning. Lots of sense. So we push this one here, it then just keeps sliding without us. We can get ahead of it, so then it teleports into here, and then this guy, this is how ice picks work. When you like pick at an ice block, it starts melting. Yeah, so we get this bomb out of here, and because we saved all of them, we can now get back out. I'm going to die here, because I have 0 hearts. It's going to waste like 2 seconds, but that's fine. Normally I wouldn't, but I had 0 hearts there. Just a bit of a marathon safety. So this level here, you are riding on a snowball. And you basically just go throughout this whole level. The controls in this level are really janky. The walls are bad and the floors are bad. It's a really not good level. There is a skip.
This level shows that it was designed in the late 90s, right?
Yes. I am not doing the skip. There's a skip you can do there, which is super hard, super inconsistent, saves like 1 second. Not worth it.
Chat is calling you a coward for skipping the skip.
Yes. Thank you, Chef Toad. I will do this skip here, though, where you can just drop down to here. And there. There's a weird thing about this snowball head here. When I jump up, it does an extra rotation and then turns towards you. If you, right at the end there, like drive the snowball off the edge into the hitbox, it like doesn't do that extra rotation and it saves like 4 seconds. But because of how janky the floor is there, half the time when you line up for it, you'll just fall through the floor instead. So I'm not going for that. In this level, we're a hang glider. And you gotta save these gobbos who were just hanging out, you know? So yeah, if there's any donations, this is a perfect time while we listen to this lovely song.
We do, in fact, have a donation. We have a very generous $100 from Neo, who says, let's keep this donation train going and smash out last year's total. Please put this towards Deadlocked. Don't worry, Neo, I got you, man.
Nice.
In chat, if you're looking to kill some time, I have a question that says, with there being a bunch of different categories for this game, what's your favorite category to run? Because obviously you're showing off any percent right now, but what's your personal favorite?
Probably 100%. So any percent, you just kind of get everything you can. I mean, like, you just go through as fast as possible. In 100%, you gotta get all these trophies and do all this bonus stuff. There's a lot of really cool skips in it, but it's a much, much harder category. I'm gonna quit and save here, and load back into the first save file. That's why we put it as the first save file, so it's faster to load back in. When you quit and save there, it will take you back to the entrance of the village. In this boss, you need to drop some ice blocks on the fish. Oh, that was an excellent 2 cycle. If you're really fast, you can get 2 cycles just there. Okay, Okay, I got hit. That's fine though. This was a pretty good Savina. And then when you put too many ice blocks in your water, it freezes like that. So yeah, don't put too many ice blocks in your drink. Yeah, there's also max percent, which is a category where in this game there's 100 crystals in every level. You can see in the top right hand corner right now, I've got like 2 out of 100 in this level. Nice camera. Those don't count towards the 100% criteria. So we have another category called max percent where you have to get all 100 out of 100 crystals in every level. And it's like twice as long. It's like 2 hours. That category it's pretty good, but there are a few little things about it that make it really bad. Literally just 2 levels, or 1 level and then 1 individual room in another level just make it a terrible category. So in this room, you gotta stomp on these timers. Oh, camera, hello. I'm gonna do a little skip here. Skips some platforming. This is Roger Redant. He has a bunch of bombs. He really likes bombs. And he's trying to blow up all these gobbos. You basically have to pick up the bomb, take it to the end to blow up the door at the other side, and then save the gobbo in the other room before the bomb goes off. I am trying to use a binocular skip right there at the start. That weird camera angle I got, that's because I was either 1 frame early or 1 frame late. Trying to with like the frame perfect using the binoculars, which lets you skip that cutscene. So yeah, we get that nice little skip here. Get the Scobbo. And we specifically did that Flavio boss before Roger because it gives you full lives afterwards. Because gotta get this gone. Because there was no section before the level, it just gave you 100 crystals for beating it, which refills your lives. Because this level is quite hard. If you, like, while carrying this bomb, if you get hit once, the bomb just blows up and you have to do it again.
That sounds brutal.
Yes, it's especially brutal when Croc, especially on this level and the next level, he can stumble.
Oh no!
The floor.
What were they thinking?
Yeah, the floor in this game can be a bit janky at times, and sometimes Croc can stumble. Where like for a frame or 2 he'll be in the air, and if you press jump, then he won't jump because he's already in the air, and then you will walk off the edge and you will die. And then
Does Croc have much coyote time?
Does he have much what?
Coyote time, where you walk off the edge and you can jump a half a second later.
None.
Right.
And also, yeah, if you get unlucky with that, because he was in the air, he kind of slowed down, so you can get a jump that isn't as far as it's meant to be, and so you won't make that gap that I just jumped. That occasionally happens on this level. Most of the time when it happens, it doesn't really matter. It's just on this level, it's so punishing when it happens. That it's much more noticeable.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any, so that's good. On this platform, we just go for a bit of a float, going around so you don't get hit. It's important not to hold the direction on this, because you can just like hold forwards here. But occasionally, like those stumbles, Croc can just like disconnect from the platform and he'll just run straight off. So yeah, trying to minimize the amount of direction holding on that platform. The hard part of this level is out of the way now, because in these rooms, instead of carrying the bomb, we just have to chase it, which is like super easy. So yeah.
I'll ask you a personal question then,
Oh yeah?
since there seems to be a bit of a break. Why Croc? Why do you speedrun Croc? Like, of all the video games you could speedrun, why Croc?
Well, I think Croc 2 was probably the first game I ever played as a kid, when I was probably like 5 or 4, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like back in the day, you'd only have like half an hour on the computer a day or something, so you'd like play through as much as you could, like in the one day. So I guess
that was me with Crash 1.
Yeah.
I feel ya. Not having a memory card hype.
Yeah. Well, Croc has passwords on PS1. Or actually, does it? I can't remember. Croc 1 has passwords. I can't remember if Croc 2 on the PS1 has passwords. But yeah, it was quite literally, you know, speedrunning from a young age, and then, you know, having like a bad computer, you know, your XP machine, you know.
Yeah.
You know, all the new games don't work, so you're stuck with the same old games. You play them over and over again. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, so then like, maybe like early 2016, I was watching GDQ, and I was like, this is cool, I want to try speedrunning. What game do I know that I could speedrun? And just Croc 2 came straight to mind.
Nice.
Yeah, I also run Croc 1, which I also played as a kid, and the other Croc games, Croc 2 Game Boy Color, and Croc 1 for the Game Boy Color, but we don't talk about that game. It's not a good game.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question, because I'm like, I bet you everyone, there's a lot of love. They're like, yeah, this is, you know, Paulmall's the Croc guy. I'm like, I bet he runs Croc 1 as well.
Yeah.
So are there any major differences between Croc 1 and Croc 2?
Oh, I just got a stumble there. But I was lucky and I didn't die. That would have been tragic. Yeah, Croc 1's like a completely different game. It's much more structured like Crash 1, and this game is much more structured like Crash 2. I guess I'll skip that. Missed the gong. Hopefully I don't die. Yeah, it also has tank controls. Not that I would know. In Croc 1, you spend the entire game in the air.
Yeah.
So, because you can fly. Fun glitches. So yeah, this is the train level. This is what I was talking about with the ice physics. There's lots of smooth, fast movement with this ice. There's that train above us there. We're basically just chasing it through the level. There are some gobos on the back of it, and like a bomb strapped to the back of it. If you don't get to the end in time, the gobos will explode and you lose. But it actually doesn't matter how long you take, as long as in the very last room you don't take too long, and the last room is trivial, so it's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because this otherwise looks brutal with the ice physics and the just no safety rails.
Well, given a speedrunner is like just on par with the train, you would hope, yeah, anyone would have problems with this level then. But yeah, this level is hard.
A child.
Yeah, I'm not cutting many corners on this level because there's tons of invisible walls all around the edges of these ice. It's not good at all. This game has invisible walls and floors that don't work. So yeah, now we're in the last room. You just like hit the gong and you divert it instead of going off a cliff there. It just comes to here, and then that's this level done. Since that was the last one, we now warp to Lava Lamp Larry. So in this level, this guy, he like pops up, and he'll like throw fireballs at you. You basically have to like plug all of these holes with ice blocks, which makes a lot of sense. If you put an ice block into lava, it freezes the lava. We have a very specific route as well with this room, because he only pops up at the hole that you're looking at, specifically that the camera is looking at. So here he'll pop up and he won't throw anything at me. And so we put it in here. And now we run around this side, so the camera pans in front of that hole and he pops up there. And when he throws, he'll miss. We push it to here. We then point the camera at him there, so then we can put it into here. And then he pops up again, and that's level done. Also, with that cutscene breaking, you can break out of these cutscenes, which is pretty funny. Like, how's it going? Like,
that's amazing.
Another save and quit there to come back to here. And now we are onto the caveman village. where there's all like dinosaurs and stuff. Yeah, insert Spider-Man meme right there. Exactly. So the basic premise of this, or what we're doing right now, is there's like a race car event that's going to be on, and you need to race for the gobbos because the gobbos suck, and oh my, I haven't fallen there in a long time. The Dantinis are really good at driving apparently, and the gobbos suck, and so they want you to race for them. But because the Dantinis are scared that Croc's going to win, they steal all of the wheels off your car and hide them. So the first 2 levels of this world is getting these wheels back. See, one of the wheels is in this box right here. So we throw a bomb at it. I don't know if that hit. It takes 2 hits, so let's just... Okay, that first one did miss. That's fine. We have a lot of chances. Nice.
They were nice and generous to us.
Yeah. So yeah, we get 1 wheel there. Now we continue through this level. The other wheel is at the end. Or almost at the end. So yeah, with these minecarts, you have to like hold. You see how the track's like broken on one side?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty trivial, honestly.
Standard fair minecart level.
Yep. So we gotta hit this lever, which makes this track be diverted, so this guy will come this way. And yeah, we kind of sacrifice him to the run. He'll be right. And the other one's just down there, so we need to do that up here as well. I'm going to take this rope safe. You can jump at that rope without it being on screen and risk it, but I'm not gonna do that because the checkpoint is still back at the start of the level. I haven't got any checkpoints on this level yet. And the reason for that is because once I get this objective, I want to just die and go back to the start. So once I get this second wheel, we just fall off here. And we spawn back at the start, and we can walk straight out of the level. And now
nice
we go.
And convenient.
Yeah, now we go to this level. There are some walls in this game where, if they're thin enough, and there's a floor on the other side, you can clip straight through them. Like this door right here. Thank you. So now we're doing this whole level backwards, which is super fast. Because this door right here that I'm going to go through is actually locked on the other side, which is the majority of the level, trying to get through that locked door. But we don't need to.
Right.
And now that we have that 4th wheel, we can just go out here. Now I'm going to walk out here and I'm going to walk back in, and I'm going to do a trick here where I hit return to hub. Once you've completed a level, you can go back in and there'll be a return to hub option from the pause screen, and which will send you back out. But because they have like a small 1-second fade out where you can still move around. If you go through a loading zone during that 1-second fade out, the game gets confused, and instead of sending you to the entrance of the level, it sends you to the entrance of the hub. So it sends you back to Swap Meet Pete. It's slightly faster than doing the save and quit, but it relies on the level having a door to walk back out of. So yeah, now because we've got all 4 of our wheels, we can do this level. You can actually do this level without the wheels. One of the doors that you can clip through is the entrance of this level. It just turns out not to be faster. It's like half a second slower to do it first, assuming you get the clip immediately, because, I mean, it's not an easy, in quotation marks, clip.
Yeah.
It's fairly easy, but, like, it's... Yeah, so... We
You're
just...
gonna hate when it's slower to go fast.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the same as the boat level, where they just like zoom off at the start, and they do the same thing every time. This level's pretty fine, as long as you don't clip on any walls. If you can really get messed up if you clip on a wall here. It just like wigs out, and it kind of like that. But it's fine. in 100%, when you have to get all 5 of the crystals, it's a lot tighter. I almost never fail it, but it's not easy.
Yeah, that was an almost in quotation marks if ever I heard one.
Yeah. Where it's like, I'm taking over this guy now. If this was 100%, I would be taking over him on the last corner. Like,
right.
and if you clipped any wall, you're like neck and neck with him going across the finish line, hoping you get there first. Like,
right.
yeah.
Cool. While we finish out the race, I'll read out a donation
Hello.
or two since we have some.
Yeah, sure.
We have $20 from Anonymous, who says donating and praying for good upwarps, and Anonymous outs themselves as Rubbish Bin Man. So thank you, Rubbish Bin Man, for your $20.
Did another save and quit there. Back to the hub. And now we are going on to boss level. We can skip like half of it by jumping up here. You meant to like keep going forwards and into that room. And yeah, this boss is weird. Once we get there. We just like jump through this, just take the damage instead of waiting for the cycle. So this boss is a giant Venus flytrap. It's got some vines. It basically drops a bunch of rocks on the ground. Oh, I wasn't meant to get hit there. It drops a bunch of rocks, and you're meant to throw the rocks onto these platforms and roll it into its mouth. Oh, Gobbo, why didn't you pick up? You're meant to stand at the top of... Oh, what? Rude. You're meant to stand at the top of these things, but the hitbox actually extends much lower, so you don't need to. I'm listening for audio cues. The cycle got messed up. On the last one, the cycle can get messed up sometimes, and it completely throws you off. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a dumb level. When that goes well, it's a lot smoother than that, but yeah, that wasn't great. In this level, there is a platform. Well, the point of this level is we just have to chase after this elephant thing, which is just, he just runs away. You can actually get to him early, but he doesn't work. The trigger is only in the last room. But yeah, there is a platform in this next room here, and this platform is terrible. Oh, the platform moved. Oh, that's crazy. Earlier today, the platform was in a bad spot. It's a weird platform. Due to computer science reasons, they didn't initialize its position. It moves. It's bad. But that was an alright platform. This morning, it was the worst platform.
Right.
Also, just then you saw I did an up warp. There's certain geometry in this game where you can clip into it, and it will, if there's a floor above, you will warp up to it. You're gonna see a lot more of that in another level coming up. But that skipped like half of this level. That big room there was like a long spiraling path to the top, but you could just warp up.
So much faster than walking, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I have 4 hearts. This is fine. So this level here, this is probably one of the hardest levels in the game. It's probably my favorite level. It's a really good level. It's just hard in the speedrun. You have water. You have in your inventory, you've got 4 buckets of water, and you use them to put out these fires. And you need to... Oh, what? You need to get all 50 of these gobbos. So yeah, like just there, I throw the water when I'm in the air, so when I land in the water, I have 4 buckets of water, so I don't have to go back in. It's quite a bit of water routing. this starting area is mostly fine. It's the last room that's the most difficult, and an honest run killer. But we have 4 lives, and there is a spare life in that last room, so we should be fine. Oh. Yeah, this is like the most gobos in... Yeah, Caveman has the most gobos. Well, yeah, the story for like this level is the Dantinis were like... They set the forest on fire and all the gobos are trapped, so you gotta save them. So instead of going forwards across that bridge, we're actually gonna do this last room backwards, which saves time, but it makes it harder. So I'm gonna get this safety life up here.
Fair enough.
Because, yeah, this section is hard. You can, if you want to go, you know, all out IL strats, you can hazard jump all around here to get these gobos, instead of this slow hanging on the thing.
Right,
yeah,
would that have been the 8 consecutive frame perfect jumps you were saying before?
No, that's a different one. But yeah, this one, yeah, is a lot. It's something like that.
Right. I can see why you wouldn't do it in a marathon setting.
Yeah. Yeah, save climbing up that wall by going here. So this here, coming up here is the hard part of that I actually am gonna go for. Is these hazard jumps here. Now, because you can get hit twice, you only need one of these.
Yep.
But it's fine. I got 5 out of 6, so she'll be right. So yeah, that can be a run killer when you're on good pace and then you just miss all 3. And yeah, so I've lined up my lives fairly well. So we get this, and now we just hazard jump to here. We wait a moment, and then we die off here. We respawn back up here, and we also get 4 buckets of water back again, which is exactly what we need for this section. So that's much faster. Importantly, at the end there, when I got those 4 gobos and I waited, each of these gobos, when you get them, they give you a crystal, and then once you get all 50, like I just did, it gives you another 50. But if you get the gobbo and then you die like immediately afterwards, it won't give you the crystal. There's like a delay, and then you'll end the level with 99 out of 100, and it won't give you full lives. I just did a cutscene break there and started this boss early while I'm waiting for that cutscene to play. In this level, we basically get these water buckets, and we just we fill up the water and we chuck it into its mouth. Doesn't make much sense considering last level we could hold four water buckets, and in this level we can only hold 1. But whatever, it's a Croc.
Bigger bucket.
It's Croc logic. Just gotta wait for him to throw down the bucket again. If we get good RNG, he will turn around and face me as I come out here. No, he didn't. He walked away. That's fine though. We got the last one. Also, at the start of this level, we skipped like the whole entrance by using that box. And now we're gonna do another one of those return to hub to skip that. And now we are on to the worst level ever conceived by a video game developer. This is babies. So this is like the kindergarten or whatever for the Inca village. There are 30 babies in this level. And what you have to do is get all 30 of them and put them in their playpens.
Oh no.
And we have to carry them the whole way. And we put them in.
Oh.
And that's 1 out of 30.
That sounds horrible.
It is. What makes it worse is I'm throwing them in diagonally onto these into the playpens because the chances of them falling back out is much lower if you do it diagonally. If you throw them in like normally, also if you saw that, you can like fly on these babies, which is great. It makes the level super inconsistent. Oh, almost. But yeah, they can like, when you throw them in, they can just hit on nothing and just fall back out. And it wastes like a few seconds each time that happens.
So it's just problem on top of problem with these babies.
Yes. Also, if we happen to fall through the floor, they all get reset.
Brutal.
So, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. It can happen. Excellent game.
Well built, gotta love the late 90s.
Yes. So yeah, this is the main reason why max percent, where you have to get all 100 out of 100 crystals, is terrible. Because... let me just get this. Give me a good surf. Ah, rip. Because if one of the babies hits the ground, they will start crying. If a baby is crying, it will not give you any crystals. And there goes your 100 out of 100, you start again. Which is great when they like to just fall out for no reason. They just hit invisible walls and fall out. It is incredibly common for you to just get wrecked by this. If a baby does start crying, there's this slippery slide here. You can bring the baby all the way to this slippery slide and take it down the slide with you, and it will stop crying, and then it will give you its crystals. But that is incredibly slow. The alternative to that is once you've gotten all of the babies, all 30 out of 30, you then clip out of bounds intentionally, fall to your death, respawn, all the babies get reset, but the progress got saved, so the level's completed, and then you do the babies, you do some of them again to get their crystals again.
It sounds like 100% has really hurt you over the years.
This is max percent, but yes.
Yeah, max percent, sorry.
It is the worst category just because of this. Good times, honestly. We're not even halfway through this level yet. This level's like 8 minutes long. Like,
crazy. I can confirm, as the owner of a toddler, that going down the slide doesn't necessarily always settle babies. Sometimes it causes them to be upset.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Wild. Well, since we got some time, I'll read out a donation that we got in. And,
yeah, go for
it. The marathon and, just fill some air so you can, take a breath and chill. We have $30 from Eden, who says, we need more consecutive frame-perfect jumps. Gotta raise the stakes. So thank you very much, Eden. I'm glad you managed to get your frame-perfect jumps before Paul.
Thanks.
Good stuff. I will just say real quick that we have $10,297 raised so far during this marathon, and that is an amazing total. And we should all be proud of the work that we've managed to achieve so far. But we want to see that number keep going up, so make sure you get your donations in. There will be a link in chat in a moment for that. Otherwise, you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com. And what exactly are we raising money for? We are raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity promoting good mental health through the raising awareness and reducing of stigma around mental health issues. Right now, it's a struggle for a lot of people. And if you're struggling, a good place to start to try and help yourself is Beyond Blue. And I have nothing but kind words to say for the good work they do in the world. So if you've got anything more to say about these horrendous babies, let's hear it.
So yeah, in that room just then, it was faster to chuck them off the bridge. They'll be fine. Also, that was a nice zip. Yeah, so when these babies are in the air, they have like janky collision, and you can just like ride them across the level. It's super random, very inconsistent, makes no sense, but you can. Oh, almost. So yeah, we're coming up to the end of this level. We're not too far off.
No. We're at 25 out of 30, so...
Yeah. So yeah, this is just a bad level. If you're ever designing a game, just don't do this. Like honestly, if this level was like you just pick them up like in the fire level where they just go in your backpack, right? Even if there was like 100 of them, that would be so much better than having to take them all individually back. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine you obviously know where all the babies are, but there's a lot of level geometry here, right? Like I could imagine that it would be difficult to sometimes find all of the babies, right?
Yes. There was those 4 babies that were like spinning around on the carousel. That is like hidden around a corner. Oh, there's one. There's one invisible wall. They're like hidden around like the corner. As a kid, I remember running around for so long trying to find where the last 4 babies were. And it was nice. So frustrating.
Is there a way to necessarily tell which of the pens the babies belong to, or does it not strictly matter?
It doesn't matter. You can put them in any.
Okay, that's at least something.
So yeah, now that level's done, now comes the hardest level of the speedrun. It's going to involve a lot of up warps, and even more fun, the up warps are literally on a cliff edge. So hopefully I get this without too much trouble. The geometry is literally on this cliff edge. If you stuff it up, you will fall and die.
How often do you stuff it up?
Constantly.
Classic.
It is a very hard up warp. I'm just adjusting the camera so I don't... There we go.
Yeah, I could see that this would definitely get the heart rate going.
This particular one, you can fall through the floor and fall to your death. This one here is the hardest one, and it's the last one. Nice. Okay.
Good stuff.
We're through. And this is the end of the level right here. Yay! Also, you can cutscene break out of this. Just... in this level, we line up right there with that, there's like a mountain in the distance. Also, we're in a plane now. If you just hold attack, which is what I'm doing right now, these bombs can't hurt you. Your bullet hits them before they hit you. Excellent game design. So you line up right here. He'll hit you, he'll throw another one, and he gets hit right there. And if you lined up just right, you hit him early enough that he'll pop out a second time.
Yep.
Nice. And that saves like 30 seconds, because it saves an entire cycle on this. We also line up in the very middle of the screen here. There's like an invisible wall. That was pretty good. At the end, when you hit that wall, it will then slowly drag you to the center of the screen to turn you around. So you should just line up with that spot at the start, so it doesn't take much time.
Is there much leeway in how aligned to the spot you have to be? Is it pixel perfect, or is there some
just
fudge?
Then, I only lost like a fraction of a second. Like you saw the game just like move me a little bit at the end there. But if you're like way off, it'll take like 6 seconds to drag you the whole way.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. This level's bad. I mean, it's okay, I guess, but yeah, there's just these platforms they have to pump up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, I just got an invisible wall. When I was in the air, that's not good. Okay, I'm gonna push this one higher, this one here, and hopefully that's enough. Okay, cool. You saw like Croc, he like jittered in the air. That was an invisible wall, and it stopped me from making that distance. Nice game.
Why would they put one there?
I mean, they didn't. The game just doesn't work sometimes. They're like all over the place.
Right.
So there's a lot of spots in this game where we don't cut corners, specifically because you just get hit by invisible walls too often and the penalty is just too high. Or like,
I imagine that must be amazing for people that aren't familiar with the run coming in and being like, why don't you just jump across this corner? And
Yeah,
you're like, I would if I could.
Yeah, pretty much. There are a few spots in the game where like I'll just jump, like for no reason. It's because there was that one time I fell through the floor on that exact spot and I'm just not risking it again.
Yeah.
Like, this room, you just had to like jump on the, you stomped on the buttons to make the bomb follow you. In this room, if you go on a very specific spot on the ground, you can, you can like trick this box into coming straight towards you and in front of the key. This level is quite difficult, that one room there. If he gets away from you, good luck. RNG? Okay. This is the level why, the other reason why max percent is bad, because these are random. And if it takes you too long, see how there's 20 crystals at the bottom? That will drop to 19 if it takes too long.
Oh no.
If you do that, you have to reset. You have to do that plane boss again. You have to do the other rooms of here all again. And there goes your 100 out of 100. We specifically...
Max percent sounds horrible.
It's just those 2 rooms. It's honestly a base category if you ignore those 2 rooms. Yeah, and we specifically have the shadow quality set lower on that one room, so you can see the shadow of the bomb on the ground, because the camera isn't particularly helpful. It's much harder if you have like the highest graphic settings on, because the bomb, it's like really smooth shadow that blends in with the ground.
Right.
So, yeah, but we got through that. This room doesn't really make much sense. I don't know why we wouldn't have just come through here automatically, but whatever. Are we going to fall through the floor? No, we're not. Cool. Sometimes we fall through the floor there. It's quite funny. So now we're on to goo. This level's pretty much an auto-scroller for a lot of it. You just have to wait for the goo to rise. You only really have to worry about the last one, because once the last one has risen, then you just have to run ahead. So you kind of just chill for a lot of this level. Yeah, are there any donations? This is the second last level in the game, by the way. We're getting there.
Getting to the end. Look, I'll just take a minute to remind everyone what we're doing here, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
We are Oz Speedruns, a group dedicated to doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity working to raise the awareness of mental health issues and reduce the stigma around them, to help people achieve their best possible mental health. If you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ozspeedruns.com, or you can click the link that'll be in chat. Additionally, when you do donate, there are a number of incentives that you can put your donation towards. We still have a short hike bonus game incentive that we need to meet that has $400 and some change to go. So make sure you get in for that.
Cool. Yes, Croc for Smash. I agree.
I mean, there's one character left, right?
I'm not sure. I don't follow Smash.
Fair enough.
All I know is Croc for Smash. If I played Smash, I would main the other Croc in Smash. But yeah. It was pretty sad. This game literally ends with it saying, "Is this the end for Croc? You'll have to wait and see." Like, wink, wink. Croc 3 is coming, and then the company went bankrupt.
Yeah, I've pulled up the company on Wikipedia because prepped
Argonaut.
ahead of time, of course. Argonaut, and they did the Harry Potter games on the PS1, but they seem to have gone bust in 2004.
Yes. Croc for the PC. Croc was 1999. PC version 2000.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually made the first 2 Star Fox games for SNES, And
Yeah.
the Croc originally was, they literally pitched a Yoshi racing game to Nintendo. And then Nintendo, which was basically Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
And Nintendo went, that's an excellent idea. Go away. We're done with you.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, they were like, okay, well, we've got this 3D platformer thing with a green thing. Let's just change it from a Yoshi into a crocodile. And that's how Croc came into existence.
The deep Croc facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, they seem to have done a bunch of just sort of tie-in games after Croc. A real sad demise.
Unfortunately, yeah. Alright, so this is Goo Manchu finished. You just like hit this lever and he just dies. So yeah, this is the last level here. We are going to fight Baron Dante. It's basically an auto-scroller. So when he like zaps these like rocks to make these guys show up, and he throws fireballs at you. If you jump when he throws it, like he throws it at the exact spot you're standing. So like if you're just in the air, it'll just miss. See this gobber? He's like pushing crystals around. He's gonna push those 5 crystals into 5 spots to like open up a portal. So once he gets those, Dante like moves to here, and he does this phase where he like blows, he like blows all these fireballs at you. But you can just drop down to here, and he won't hit you. Also because he's off screen, he like won't really throw the fireballs at you, and he moves a lot faster when he's off screen, which will come into play in a moment.
I guess that also gives you a nice like break during the boss fight if you're on a good pace to just sort of be like, okay, breathe, let's finish this out.
Yeah, well, it's quite literally like if you enter this boss fight on PB pace, like you're gonna get a PB unless something goes horrifically wrong. Like right here, he's like blowing like fireballs at you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, I'm unstuck. Okay, we're fine.
Something didn't go horrifically wrong.
Like none of us have ever been hit by a fireball there. But I wouldn't be surprised if one day one of us just gets hit by a fireball. Like, that's just how it is. And
these
also,
games always seem to have something else to throw at you.
none of us have been pushed through the wall here as well, because the game's pushing you into the wall. None of us have fallen through it yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if one day one of us just falls through this floor and loses world record to it.
I mean, that would be just absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah. I was gonna do a small skip, which saves like 2 seconds in here, but because of that one spot before where I got stuck, I couldn't do it. Because he was meant to be on screen. I had to keep Dante on screen for that, but he escaped me. Because you can manipulate him how fast he moves based on him being on screen or not. You can make it so when the gobbo, when he places the crystal on the ground, at the exact moment he does, he gets picked up by this Dantini over here. That's what this Dantini's doing. If he gets to the gobbo, he'll like pick him up and like run around. And then you can use that. The Dantini will take the gobbo back towards the pile, and it saves a few seconds because the gobbo runs slower than the Dantini does. Yeah, this is just the last one of this. I'll just show off what it looks like. He's just throwing fireballs at you that you just have to dodge.
Right.
So yeah, once this gobbo puts the last crystal in, that'll be the end of the run.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, if we're ahead of schedule, there's like one glitch I can show off fairly quickly after this.
Yeah, I think we've probably got time.
Cool.
I think we've got time.
So yeah, here's this gobbo. Come on, man, you can do it. You can do it. And time. And that's
Nice.
that. You can also run around in this cutscene. You can like cutscene break out of it. Like, hello, hi. There's like multiple Crocs and stuff. It's pretty funny.
Great.
Like, I want to go too. Go splat.
So where does that? Do you know where the portal goes?
It probably
Like, what's the deep Croc lore? Here?
it probably says it in the game somewhere, but I don't know.
Fair.
The last time I tried to read these text boxes when I was 5, and I probably couldn't read them. Like, so yeah, you can just chill, you know. Like, how's it going, guys? They're just like floating in the air and they're big.
Yeah, he's way bigger than you.
So yeah, I'm gonna real quick show off. I need to activate the cheat menu. Nice. So there's a glitch in this game, called the infinite item glitch, which is where when you use an item in your inventory, if it's the last item, it will disappear from your inventory, but the button, will still be bound to the action of the thing. So if I just, so you can use it infinitely, which you can use and abuse this. There are gummies in this game which is what I'm infinitely placing right now.
Just flying.
Yeah, and you can use that to skip to like the top of this level, but because we have the binoculars in our inventory, that doesn't work, because that will always be the last thing in the game, or the last item in your inventory.
Cool.
So yeah,
So
thanks for
before
watching.
they send us away, sorry, I was just going to wrap up for you. I was going to say, before they send us away, do you have any last minute shout outs? Do you want to tell people how they can get into Croc?
Yeah, just join the Croc Discord. It's on the speedrun.com page. Shout out to Thermospore in the chat. He's the current world record holder. I'm going to take that off you in the next few days. Mark my words. Shout out to Chef Toad, who was here before. He's the other Aussie croc runner. He's currently 3rd.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That's all from me.
Cool. Thank you very much.